Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you for the support you're granting this platform. Kipchumba Murkomen, the CS for Interior, is facing the International Criminal Court of Justice. And this is going to be a very serious issue because, as you all know, the prosecutor who has been serving is currently under suspension pending investigations of sexual misconduct. I'll do that analysis in my next video. So, Dr. Peter Mbae, who is the former head of government service delivery, has formally petitioned the International Criminal Court for prompt action and urgent intervention following the statements that were made by Kipchumba Murkomen at a public event. Now, someone could ask, which statement was this that needs ICC attention? I know this statement has been on media because they were made last month. Maybe some of you couldn't internalize that statement, but it is a statement that is worth of discussion and worth of ICC attention. Before we proceed, at a public event, Kipchumba Murkomen, the CS Interior, made very serious remarks, and those remarks are turning to be criminal. Can we listen to the remarks?
In 2005, the referendum happened, and Kibaki had to reappoint a cabinet in December, I think 9th. So, and because at that point in time, it looked like Kibaki is finished, completely finished. Many people never wanted to serve in that cabinet. So once he had bundled out ODM, which was at that point being formed, but it was LDP and a few other people who had come in, Kibaki needed people to stabilize the country. So he needed a broad-based government, if you use the terms of those days. And he had to go to KANU, and particularly Honorable John Koech, to come in to stabilize his government. And as a result, he became a minister in that broadened government and stabilized the country. And contrary to the belief that many people thought Kibaki is finished, he helped to stabilize that government to the extent that President Mwai Kibaki was re-elected in 1997. And in the process, you know what happened across our country to now. So what President Ruto did is not new. You know, it's not new. The challenges that President Ruto faced are not new. In 2005, Kibaki was the most unpopular person. Everybody was saying, uchumi ni ya watu wachache, haijafika chini, it's not nene. But Kibaki is most celebrated president today. So even the challenges the president went through last year and did what Kibaki did and broadened the government and stabilized the country, I am confident that the future of this country is in safe hands and success is ahead for us, and President Ruto will be re-elected and he will be celebrated like Kibaki in future. That is the most transformative president that ever country have.
Why is this video calling for ICC? Some of you could ask me. Because if you listen it casually, you will not get the meaning. In short, in that video, Murkomen is saying that in 2007, after the 2005 referendum, Kibaki became very unpopular as per Kipchumba Murkomen, which is true. Kibaki became unpopular. He dissolved his cabinet and so many things. So Murkomen is saying that Kibaki was unpopular, which is true. But even if Kibaki was unpopular, he had to secure re-election in 2007. Now, the biggest question we should ask from this, when Murkomen says Kibaki secured a re-election in 2007 despite being unpopular, what does he mean? You know, the 2007 scenes are still fresh in our minds. We all know what Kibaki did in 2007. He was unpopular, yes. But it's in the public domain what Kibaki did to retain his second term in 2007. What tunajua? It is the public domain that Kibaki stole an election. He rigged the election in 2007. A move that saw Kenya plunge into violence. And this violence, why we don't want to remember it, it left thousands dead and millions homeless. That is why sipendangi kukumbuka 2007. Yeah? But because Murkomen is forcing us to remember, please allow me to discuss the matter without evoking the 2007 memories. Now, Murkomen claims that the same criteria that Kibaki used despite being popular to regain his term is the same strategy that Ruto will deploy, because as we speak, Ruto is unpopular, and even Kipchumba Murkomen knows that very well. That is why he is taking us into Kibaki's comparison. Murkomen anajua as we speak, Ruto is unpopular. He knows very well. But even if he's unpopular, Murkomen anasema Ruto must secure his second term just like Kibaki did. What did Kibaki do? Kibaki stole an election that saw Kenya fight. So, the CS is simply telling you that in 2027, just like Kibaki stole an election, Kenya kwanza itaiba kura, and there's nothing you'll do about it. It's as simple as that. That is why this video requires ICC attention. Simple as that. Murkomen anaambia wa Kenya, kama vile Kibaki aliiba 2007 when he was unpopular, is the same way Ruto anaenda kuiba 2027 because he is unpopular as we speak. And why we need ICC attention is because should anything happen in 2027 like the one in 2007, we shall have Murkomen personally held responsible. Period. We will not compromise and we will not sympathize. This is a grave statement. This is a criminal statement. That is why Dr. Peter Mbae is writing to the ICC demanding them to act on the statement. I want to read for you. We have sent a copy of this letter to the prosecutor of the ICC for prompt, immediate, and urgent interventions by the court to open an investigation on the Kenyan situation to prevent the possibility of a repeat of 2007 violence. Mbae said their concerns, and specifically to prevent the possibility of a repeat, and a copy of this letter has been sent to the ICC. And this is what he's writing. Attention has been drawn to a statement made by the CS in charge of the Ministry of Interior and National Administration on April 14th, which was aired in the media, the statement which I've played. The statement was to the effect that the outcome of the 2027 presidential election is predetermined and that President Ruto will win under all circumstances. In the letter, Mbae demanded confirmation by the CS that the state shall use all means possible to ensure that the 2027 general election will be free, fair, and transparent. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Asanteni sana.